So stop acting like a madman and let's go.
I can't do it. I'm afraid of small, dark spaces. Ever since that tower fell on me in Nabokov, and I was stuck under the ruins, I just can't. I'm sorry, Henry. There has to be another way.
Have you come up with some ingenious plan for getting out of here? If so, I'd really like to hear it.
What do I know? We could maybe break down the gate.
Un moment. Henri? You said that von Bergov left. Is that not so?
Yes.
And what about horses? Are there...
I think there's a couple, yeah.
Très bien. That will be enough, but I think we could get there stealthily. It is not... Then you simply open the gate, et voila, we are gone! Just like I escaped. It may not be the best plan. It was not back then either. But we simply have no other choice. Time has passed. The fortress is quiet. I believe that most of the garrison has gone to sleep.
That's a wonderful plan. No passageways. But we need some weapons.
Exactement. To have a proper piece of steel in my hand again. Preferably Milanese, although I would be satisfied with something local. Mince! But I need some weapon! Henri!
I don't have anything for you. Maybe we'll find something later.
I certainly hope so.
Merde. Our plan is...
I'll go ahead and scout it out. When there's a suitable...
And how will you let...
Well, the stables can be seen from the entrance hall. If you signal us with a torch from next to the horses, we'll head towards you.
Agreed. Good idea. Wait for my light.
But you must be absolutely certain that the way is clear. If you have any doubt, do not risk...
True. And if we don't hear from you or see your signal...
Précisément.
Right.
Brabant, keep watch by the stairway. I'll go to the window and wait for Henry's signal.
I think it would be better if you watch the stairs.
Why's that?
You are younger. You have better hearing.
You said you once discovered a dozen English spies. So you could surely...
I discovered them because I smelled them from a distance. You see, les Anglais sting to high heaven. Très bien. I will watch the stairs. coming!
I have a weapon.
Finally. Thanks, Henry.
I have some steel for you.
Très bien, give it to me. Now I will show you what a cavalier...
Go to the horses.
Sure, let's go.
Stop.
What's going on? Are we going?
Back. Go back.
Yeah, got it.
Stop.
You can't stand up to this. Fucking hell! Don't think I won't cut you to pieces!
Don't hurt him!
Now you'll
Christ! You killed him! Hey! Over here! Give him one full!
punishment by the blade! I'll hack you up like you deserve!
God!
You wanna try me? You won't surrender? Don't dare, please!
Brabant, keep watch by the stairway. I'll go to the window and wait for Henry's signal. Why's that? Stink like rotten fish.
Eh bien, I will watch the stairs, Monsieur le Chapeau.
have some...
Très bien, give it. Now I will show.
I have a weapon for...
Fine. Thanks, Henry.
Go to the horses.
Sure, let's go.
Stop.
Are we supposed to go to the horses?
Back. Go back.
Yeah, got it.
Stop.
Night shift again.
Oh, bastard!
What? Eh? Now you're gonna die! Now you'll see what we do with criminals, bastard! You can't...
Brabant, keep watch by the stairway. I'll go to the window and wait for Henry's signal. Why's that?
The horses are here. As soon as it's safe, I should give Capon the signal. I have a weapon.
Fine. Thanks, Henry.
I have some...
Très bien, give it. Now I will
Head towards the horses.
I must admit, mes amis, the last time I have had such a suspense was when I was rescuing the King of France.
We, monsieur, were surely brave. And fortune favors the brave. Yeah! Free at last!
Thank you for coming for me, Henry. You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among your friends. I, Vauquelin Brabant, chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauquelin.
Vocula?
Vauquelin. Vauquelin.
Vocla... would you mind if I just call you Brabber?
Brabant. En.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do. Do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in the art of conversation. But at least you have courage. And over skills. You carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami, how the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drawing in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's your plan, Sir Baron?
An heroic deed about which holds shall one day be composed, similar to my feat in the famous battle of Arezzo.
Did you distinguish yourself in that battle?
Oui, mon cher Henri. When all seemed lost, I led a heroically desperate attack that ultimately led us to victory. For that, I was knighted. Opportunities for heroism await everywhere. One just has to seize them. What if we were to journey to Vienne? We could assemble a company and liberate le roi Wenceslas.
That would be excellent. If the king were to return, the nobility would definitely support him. Sigismund would have to withdraw.
Précisément. And what is more, our names would be sung throughout the kingdom. Undoubtedly, we would also earn a rich reward too. Then I would invite the best stonemason from France and build Monsieur Chapeau a castle that even Chevalier Hanush would envy.
You must be mad. You've been free less than a day, and you're already thinking up ways to get yourself killed. I'd rather endure Hanush's preaching about my incompetence than listen to this chatter. We'll see what happens next. But the first thing that I need is to get good and drunk.
Really need to sleep.
Christ, wounds. Such destruction and havoc.
War. Monsieur Chapon, you have yet to participate in a real battle. But I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème. It is always the same.
That's not war. It's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps several hundred groschen.
That's not what I meant, Vacalin. No fortress. Maybe one fortified courtyard. Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war.
tired.
Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening. Here!
Oh, damn. I've wandered off somehow. I should get back to Hans. Damn it. I have to join Capon soon. If I lose him here... saved him for nothing.
Thank you for coming for me, Henry. You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among your friends. I, Vauquelin Brabant, chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauquelin.
Vauquelin?
Vauquelin. Vauquelin.
Vauquelin... would you mind if I just call you Brabber?
Brabant. En.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do. Do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in any art or conversation. But at least you have courage and other skills. You've carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami, how the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drawing in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's troubling you, Sir Hans?
What do you think? It all turned to shit again, and I ended up in captivity. I'm thankful at least that Hanush won't have to pay von Berghoff a ransom for me. I'd never live that down. But I'll still have to listen to another lecture from him about how useless I am. Or do you have a different feeling about our Trotsky mission?
True. Not everything went according to plan. Actually, almost nothing went to plan. But at least I finally got revenge on Istvan. That Horsten got what he deserved. Believe me.
By Christ, you got Istvan! That's welcome news. No one will miss that fucker. Nice work, but I don't think that'll help me much with Hanush.
Jobst is hatching his plans. Soon we'll kick Sigismund out of this country, and I think the bold Sir Hans will still have a chance to prove himself.
Mais oui! I must meet your Jobst de Moravie. I have some clever ideas about how to strike against the Roi Sigismund.
Yeah, you go and chat with Jobst. At least I can get good and drunk in the meantime. We should spur the horses on. God knows, they might be hot on our heels. Yeah! Christ, wounds. Such destruction and havoc.
War. Monsieur Chapon, you have yet to participate in a real battle. But I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème.
I'm getting quite
It
tired.
is always the same.
That's not war. It's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps several hundred groschen.
That's not what I meant, Bacalin. No fortress. Maybe
exhausted.
one fortified courtyard. Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war. Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening.
You're right, Hans. We must find allies and put a stop to it as soon as possible, so we can save as much as we can.
Yes, but we failed in Trotsky. And now this is our punishment.
I see that short captivity has turned you into a philosopher, Lord Capon. You should apply to the Faculty of Arts before the muse lifts you again.
Here!
Of all the bandits in the whole wide world, we run into this pair of scoundrels.
I fucked everything up.
Oh, get up, lad. Everyone makes mistakes. Only a better man owns up to them. At least we know now what kind of vermin we're dealing with.
What brings you here? We just escaped from Malashov, and right now
There's no time for haste. One thing at a time, my boy. Word reached Rat-Eye that you pair got yourselves into a nice mess. I'm glad to see you both in one piece. So, let's hear it. What happened?
It's best if Henry tells you. I wasn't around for half of it.
No sooner had we spied Trotsky on the horizon than everything started to go to hell. We made camp by a pond with the intention of heading for the castle at first light. Only we were ambushed by bandits in the evening. They killed all our men and took everything they could carry, including the letter for von Berghoff.
And how did you two manage to get out alive?
Just by a stroke of good luck. We were both in a bad way. We might not have made it if a local herb woman hadn't taken care of us.
Only after that, we couldn't get into the castle, though. We looked like a pair of beggars.
And the bastards treated us as such.
But you did get into Trotsky in the end, didn't you?
Von Berghoff was behaving oddly right from the start. But we had no idea what was behind it. It all came out after we set out with von Berghoff's men to deal with the bandits who were rampaging in his domain. The same one...
Only they ambushed us and took...
But it turned out these very outlaws are on our side. They're fighting for King Wenceslas on the orders of Sokol of Lamberg.
Well, I'll be damned.
So von Bergov has been the real enemy all this time. And Zizka is actually our ally.
Zizka? Zizka? He's the captain of those outlaws. That name doesn't ring a bell.
I think you'll meet him soon enough.
What impression did he make on you?
He's some impoverished yeoman. But he's handy in a battle, and he helped us when we needed it.
He made quite an impression on me, for one. I'll be happy to see him again. But if only it didn't have to be in Rabors. Why Rabors? Of all the places in the world.
We're riding to a gathering of King Wenceslas's supporters. If fortune favors us, the future fate of the kingdom will be decided there.
If we keep standing around here gabbing...
Patience, my friend. This pair have just returned from the clutches of the enemy.
Like how in the devil did you manage to escape?
I was helped by the Ruthard family, the former rulers of Malashov, in exchange for dealing with some trouble they had.
Ulrich Favak? But he's the Mintmark.
Well, he won't be for long, if it comes to light that he's been putting his sticky fingers on the royal silver.
It seems you've been pretty busy.
But don't forget to say what you found out from von Bergov in Malashov.
Sigismund has convened the city council. Markvart von Aulitz will be there with him, too. The word is, Sigismund is going to make an important announcement there.
He picked a nice time for it. But at least...
Now, if we had one of our people at that assembly, we'd get Sigismund's plans nice and fresh.
My very words. Young Lord Capon will go with us to Rabosh, but you'll have to return to the city right away, and try to worm your way into the town hall.
What? How can I get in there? I can't...
You've got the dirt on Vavak. Just tell him either he gets you into the council chamber, or you get him on the gallows.
It's worth a try, right?
I hope that assembly really is important. If Sigismund is just going to announce an increase in taxes...
Well, at least you can enjoy watching the long faces of the... And don't worry, I'll eat and drink in Rabosh on you...
If I come back and find you there under lock and key again, I'll...
T'inquiète. I will go as well, and I will not let your friend out.
Hans? Who's this?
Vaclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo, at your service.
He was a captive of Lord von Bergov's, like...
In that case, he'll be a welcome guest at...
You don't know what you're promising, Baron. Watching Sir Hans is a job and a half.
The main thing is to watch out for yourself. As soon as you can do so without raising suspicion...
He'll manage it, but now we really need to hit...
Safe...
Adieu et bonne chance!
And to you. Hopefully we'll meet soon. I could use some... Christ, I need some sleep.
Plague and fires and failed harvests, but now we face a far greater catastrophe.
Whoa! could lay down for a bit.
I'm sorry.
Lord be with you.
What's going on around?
Did you hear the news? Rumour has it a dragon's been found.
A dragon?
Aye, really? Everyone's been talking. Go and talk to him. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. What's going on around?
Nothing much. If you're looking... Take care.
There. Better already. Good morning.
Can I...
We're not really...
Just the one night. All I need is...
But all I have...
That's enough for me. Agreed. Here's...
Good. Well, doesn't seem too bad.
I'm exhausted.
If this doesn't start to get interesting...
I'll be right with you. On the table. What kind of pig is sitting here? My God, these furry mutts.
I better not forget about that council assembly.
Closing time, come again. Tomorrow, perhaps. That's the way it's bloody well done. To good health. Last call is over. We're closing up for today. we're closing. No more beer.
You silly doggy.
You have a kind master, hey? Hey, doggy? It happens! Just watch where you're going. Next time.
I ought to go and see Rosa. She'll be expecting me. And I mustn't forget about the city council.
What? Fuck off! Prepare to fight!
God, where is that dog?
Heal.
Here you go. Take it.
Greetings, how are you? Yeah.
I apologize.
God grant you help.
Excuse me?
Refrain from sin. Satan is going round our city and the only...
I'm going to see the Mint Master.
Any fool could say that.
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then.
Greetings, sir.
I speak the truth.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again?
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
No, Sigismund's just a usurper.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit.
And could you not choose a different...
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your...
All right, all right. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately, and that will be the end of...
I must have misheard you. Our collaboration is only...
Are you deaf, you
All right.
You can get in peace, roughly, although...
Glad you hold you. Actually,
You've come.
Call
The ascent. Sing and.
Have you?
All right. If I get and that.
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're worse than a horse dealer. Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook is roughly around your age, although not everyone would want to.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today, from Master Taylor, that is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
Who's...
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. Which reminds me, you'll need... Otherwise, you won't...
What will I need?
Fast feet and good manners.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a tour?
Well, no.
Our usual waiter had a brand new live...
What would...
Would you like me to give you a letter?
I'll be going then.
Just make sure we...
To keep watch.
Careful.
So we can sleep.
Good day. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Greetings.
Christ, pardon me.
You're old.
Careful.
A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
Bowls, pots, pot lids. The
Good day.
Mugs for sale.
Come and take a gander.
Welcome, sir. I'll have a look. I hope you find what you're looking for next time.
Lord be with.
Show me your way.
Happy to be of service, sir.
Needles, thread,
Vegetables,
pins, silk
fresh,
thread.
everything fresh.
The Lord be with you. Pancakes, cabbage, buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Have a bowl as well.
What would you like, sir?
Show me your work.
What can you do? Maybe next time then, sir. Dyed broadcloth. Beautiful colours.
I'm afraid it'll go bad on me soon.
Sure. Do you want them?
Quality wares.
Supposed to go to a christening.
Buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Have a bowl as well.
You're telling me you didn't get the job done?
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend... And you impatient fella. What was it you...
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who?
I'm Henry.
I am.
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I... Why would you want to stick your nose in...
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the...
But why would you want to...
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it.
I see. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable... Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get... Show the confirmation to the head butler.
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hope the main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you. I promise.
You better not.
Quality stress, strong rain.
Embroidery. Silk embroidery.
What can you do, sir?
Ribbons of all
Maybe
colours.
next time, then.
Pots for sale.
Ah,
Big, strong
that'll be
guns.
fine. We'll
Quality goods.
Come and take your
The
pick.
fine-
Jobs for sale, fair prices, fine wares.
Excuse me.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in.
Franta's not coming? What?
He crippled his leg. He can't even stand up. Never mind.
Is it serious?
No, it won't come to that. It just looks like a twisted...
All right. Well, we can't be without a waiter here. So, have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run everything as it should be. Do you know what your duties are for an inexperienced greenhorn like?
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice.
I should certainly hope. Now listen. A good waiter should stand... In short, behave. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and you'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one, white to Kaib.
White or red, by the door to the chapel.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has... We can't allow that to happen.
All right.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered...
Remember who wants...
That too, but more importantly, do... And in general, a good waiter has to...
Oh? I thought I had to keep...
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No, understood?
Absolutely.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even run... But you'll manage it.
I know everything I need to.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with...
There are the pictures of wine.
a joke.
Hopefully I
And
won't
on
splash
top of
anyone's
that,
shoes.
The army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worked? Weapons that any räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
You there, lad. I'm saying that the bandits who freed
I apologise,
the
sir.
Dry Devil
Which
used
one?
that monastery red, that Hackenbücher hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande
Come now,
when
waiter.
outlaws
I want
have
it red.
better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize
Come now, waiter.
what
I want it red.
Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free.
Thank
there
you,
are
waiter.
Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection.
I'd like some monastery
Is it him?
wine. Refill
The
my cup,
König
boy.
and his army will not be
I'm
here
sorry.
forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment.
I apologise,
What
sir.
have he heard you?
Which one?
What then?
Red!
We're sitting
Am I
atop the
speaking in
biggest
Latin?
silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the
Good,
property
sir.
of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than
Well,
familiar
thank
with
the
the
Lord.
Yemmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king
Tokai
fears that this
and
town will
Fulka.
rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed
I
for
apologise,
the
sir.
Haupritter to wreak
Which one?
havoc all around?
Right.
Are you
We can
deaf?
always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the
Good,
current
sir.
situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty
Well,
thinks about
thank
the
the
matter.
Lord.
Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honourable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
Come here,
So,
friend.
the
And
cleanliness
bring that
of the
red
city
with you.
is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink.
Am I
and
to
wants
yell
repair
here
the
like at
baths
a
that used to
horse
be there.
fair?
She's a protege
I said
of Marish.
I wanted
Her
red.
efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not a soft, feminine finger.
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't
Thanks.
enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend bathhouse proprietor Adam.
More wine,
The need
Master
for
Bailiff.
cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the... Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there.
Unless the Lord wishes to...
Where can I find...
Use your eye and come right.
Clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to
nice.
serve wine to everyone for
Whose
free,
silver might
too.
this be?
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earth.
So?
Everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I did, Master Bailiff. is.
Not so loud. Show it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit.
Tokai!
And as we know,
And the full cock.
Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Hey, where's my wife? You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon. I demand that you... Waiter! Pour me red wine.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons. Unverzüglich. Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning
a full
from
cup
it.
of monastery
Should
wine.
the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Thank you.
Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
Waiter, what is
get
it,
me
Eldris?
white.
You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is.
Sir?
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubringer everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Tokai and a full cup. And his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're
Sir?
sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're
I didn't
supposed
order
to
that.
defend it
I
with
wanted
brutes?
white.
You're right, Eldris.
It
But
won't
where
happen
can we
again.
get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the tax...
king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
My cup
You mean
is
baths
empty.
or brothels?
Pour me some white.
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths
That's
in the
the
city
way.
fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths.
More wine, Master Bailiff.
She's a protege of Marish.
Come closer.
Her effort.
I need. There is. She's a. No going.
Certainly.
Come back.
Complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor
Nice.
Adam. The need for cleanliness
silver
and
money,
citizens' health should not be underestimated.
So?
I did.
Not so. And now go.
Steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another
Waiter,
deed.
pour me
That's
red
nothing
wine.
unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit.
Sir?
And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
Well,
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well,
I'd like some white.
Not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking.
Sir?
The king might come any time now.
That's right.
Thank you,
Let's
waiter.
not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon.
I fancy
I
some
demand that you...
Refill, boy.
Ruhe. Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding.
Sir?
We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must
Well,
be
thank the
deceiving me.
Lord.
Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword fighting
Hey,
school
boy,
brought
a
this
full
custom
cup
to
of
us.
monastery
It's
wine.
now run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsooker.
Sir?
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to
hang around
accuse
me.
a sword
Vanish,
master
you hear me?
without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So, you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the
Everything
bailiff.
in order?
And that's that.
But I think
There
you
are
might
more
be able
pressing
to help
matters
me.
to deal
Come
with.
here.
More pressing than the
I
open
apologise.
contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
And no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Come here, friend, and bring that red with you.
Sir?
That's the way. Good lad.
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock a
I'll
royal
have a
mining
cup of
city.
white.
Why can't we build faster?
Nice big one.
Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band
I apologise,
of
sir.
parasites.
Which wine?
You pay
White
them,
Tokai.
they come late, or report sick, and if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste
Good, sir.
of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
You, lad.
Adam, don't
You look
interrupt the
familiar to
proceedings
me.
with your drunken
Have we
ranting.
met?
Well, naturally.
You are in the right.
I go to
And
your
as
tavern
for
almost
you,
every day.
Really?
Haven't you noticed there's a war?
Then you
going
must
on?
have decent wages to
Are
be
the
able to visit
experts
the
from
best
far
tavern in
off
town
supposed to put
regularly.
The city under siege.
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own
Boy,
quarter there.
I'd like some
So
white.
what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, mein Freund. Your place is at least 2 steps behind
Sir?
mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me?
Good.
Ha!
Now run
I
on.
think not.
Worthy councillors, we are not on the marketplace to argue like fishwives. The construction of the cathedral is proceeding slowly, and as Jerome says, there is
Hey,
war,
boy,
and
a
there
full
is
cup of
neither
monastery
money
wine.
nor craftsmen. But with our joint powers, we will finish the building to the glory of God and our city, even if it
Sir?
takes 100 years. What is next in the order of business?
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Tüçek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, Skelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of falls!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my...
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your... And you saved my neck and Henry's too.
None of that matters.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's... Do you know any of the guests?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers...
Wait a moment. Rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them.
I wouldn't be too sure. Who's that French fellow you brought?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the king. He's got more fairy tales than my old nan.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth. Besides, he defended Kutn. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been
What do you plan to do?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser.
How does it feel to...
What can I say?
Or...
No fear of that in my case. Wine...
Dear me. But I suppose...
Indeed you should.
Oh, don't start with...
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Good day to you, friend. Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians. I'm Godwin.
Peace be with you. Neither...
How do you know I'm a...
It's not difficult to tell, and we are both a little on... I'm Yehuda, leader of the Rab, and this is...
Who would rather not be here, and why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see...
Because we all need, and why would they not...
Are you here to arrange some...
We have more serious matters to attend to. The situation in the town and the kingdom is... You have men and weapons.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what...
Everything in good time, Sammy.
Did you come to lend money to...
Not to lend, but to give.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries...
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a...
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not... He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's...
Wait, a blacksmith from Scarlet's?
Aye, that's right.
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, And that is why Samuel is in this world.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for...
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz. Sir Radzig, Henry's real...
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him. Just...
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry...
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
For that, there will...
Good health.
L'chaim.
I'm glad.
Bears in the woods are overbreeding and eating anything they come across.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad...
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
I beg your pardon.
But you seek allies, no? Is it the friend of my friend is also my friend, and you say you know Henri? A likable boy, although he could still learn quite a lot from moi-même.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Where's that beer? Cheers!
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
You say you're a poet?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood.
Where have you been on your travels?
But of course. I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan and if you are interested in my greatest deed, then...
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying... By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge...
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd...
As it happens...
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has...
That's a weak...
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council.
Well... I'm curious how you...
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our...
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to...
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And he's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. But he won't engage in...
But he can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We just need negotiators.
Are you saying you set everything in motion, even...
More like in parallel. But if we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea...
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
Why are you doing all this?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, if you can get those 3 on our side. Meanwhile...
Tell me a bit more.
Certainly.
Botchek of Kunstadt.
That's just the thing. He's got... He doesn't play the big game. Because he always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up...
Older the alderman.
He still is. The only one... Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on...
Anna.
Wenzel Bartosz.
I was quite surprised to see her here.
A male affair? Anna is holding back and behaving like an exempt... But don't trust appearances.
And what use can she be to us?
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And there are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of him, and that it was thanks to...
Why me?
Because you've got a head on your... You and your... There aren't many like...
I'll get on.
I wish us...
Success. God be with you, noble. There's something I'd like to...
God be with you.
You're diplomatic...
No beating around the bush, eh? I like...
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady.
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford...
Christ! Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this...
Not only for people, but also for good food.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to...
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why...
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason.
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of the guests here...
who's that?
Harmon Al... Now, if you were to switch these papers for the one...
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harmon Alder was given the documents to He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them.
Have you fallen out with...
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. They're disappointed that I dared, and the fact that I'm handling his estates.
And these papers...
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between...
You were dealing with the...
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear.
And the papers...
Just insignificant documents. If they incriminate...
All right, I'll help you.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed. Bring them to me. But watch yourself. Odorin.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest me.
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation?
Is that your...
Unfortunately.
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky... I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his... Only it wasn't long before they kicked him, and then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish. But he took his boozing and whoring along with them.
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the...
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're a horse wandering around as...
Oh, actually, anything, but maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you would...
You're dishonoring your...
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies.
You've got no other option.
Gentlemen, surely I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin.
Out of the question. This uncool... And he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God...
You want satisfaction? Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer...
After you.
Well, that's that.
Shouldn't we...
No. Christopher...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
That was sneaky.
Cover your right side! You've got a gap
They teach
there
you
I
that
can
in the
drive a
seminary?
cart through.
Wanker!
Sum quick tribue!
Ha ha! You never saw that coming. That!
Si uste puniris non vando certis.
Did they teach you that in the seminary? Not bad for a priest. Did they teach you that in the seminary? That was sneaky. Did they teach you that in the seminary? Sacre! You're fast. That was sneaky. Oof. Not bad for a priest.
Stand firm. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse.
That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. That you could teach sword fighting.
I was in a war. Right after, and you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well,
so Father would be, only he'll never be satisfied.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped that...
Not at all. When I was 6 years old, he wouldn't talk to me for a week.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days.
Only...
I always wondered who you were.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled but now, I have a...
And that's why you want to talk...
I've got to get him on our side.
Aren't we all on the same...
Maybe everyone's saying that.
After your encounter with Father... Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure.
All right, then. It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against...
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're...
You got that?
Leave Alder to me. The plan...
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime.
You're starting...
Why we mustn't push too hard.
Sir Bojack, I need to...
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men?
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And only in order to get them.
You've got my attention, but...
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no...
Doesn't that seem to you a little... cowardly?
If you hesitate to kiss a bear's ass, is that... I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after. I can't risk it all in a...
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold?
My guarantee is called Yit. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable group.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want...
Honored to oblige.
Forget about it. Even if by some miracle you could manage to sire children.
The truth does... I believe Lichten...
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka...
How about young Lord...
He's a youngster.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women of... And he'll give her a whole bunch of...
And to half the wenches. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation. And maybe it's not...
So?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's first. I want a confirmation that the...
And what if...
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, I'll be...
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now...
Sir Hanush, I bring...
You do?
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and...